Rebecca, what's been happening today?
We're very excited. We had our 2025 South Texas Summit. It was originally launched in 2022, and so we ramped it back up again this year here in San Antonio, Texas, with dynamic speakers and panels from emerging industries to workforce to building South Texas to the South Texas Alliance of Cities, as well as hearing from our state legislature members, our representatives, to find out how did it go, what was going on, and give us a little wrap up of the legislative session.
So how long has the South Texas Business Partnership been going?
So we are 43 years old, but we were originally named the South San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. And in 2022, our board of directors aligned and repurposed our mission and our vision because we knew that South Texas was growing and we had so many cultural, geographic, economic ties with South Texas. So we wanted to expand our area to the 27 county region from San Antonio all the way down to Laredo, Rio Grande Valley, as well as Corpus Christi, and everywhere in between I-35 and I-37. And so we are now, we at South Texas Business Partnership are conveners and collaborators because we know that we're stronger together and we see the development happening. We don't want it to happen to us. We want to have a voice at the table. And we believe that our collective voice is stronger than just individual areas. And so that is why the organization was really realigned, but it's also why the South Texas Summit is so important to hear what's going on throughout the region.
And so, as your name implies, South Texas Business Partnership, does that mean that most of your membership is the business community?
Correct. Most of our members are the business community. Now they range from, the small mom and pops or the sole proprietors all the way to industries such as International or JCB or Toyota Texas and everywhere in between. We know what is important is that bringing the voice of the business community because they're stakeholders in all of this growth. But we know that when some of the businesses succeeds, all of our communities can succeed as well.
So when you define South Texas, how far north? I mean, is there a dividing line in San Antonio at some point where the north side of San Antonio would not be considered South Texas?
Well, we do use Highway 90 or I-10 as one of the differentiations that when we discuss South Texas or South San Antonio and the west side of San Antonio, that's the geographic line that we work with, but we're very much engaged with all of San Antonio, but it is that's our defining line.
This is the first forum of yours that I've attended, and a number of folks from the podium and on the panel said what a tremendous turnout, and so that impressed me. It was like a packed house today.
Yes.
You must be so pleased with that.
I'm very pleased with that. And, as I mentioned, this is the first time we're doing this again since 2022. So I'm so proud. And it just demonstrates that people believe in the mission, believe in the collaboration, and know that we're going to go farther when we work together. And so seeing such a diverse group of people from county judges to mayors to business community and everything in between all coming together, that is when we're going to have the tremendous change that we need.
And it has to be said, you had a large contingent from the Rio Grande Valley. You invited the leaders from the Rio Grande Valley in the education area, in business, technology, and 3 South Texas mayors.
Yes.
Or Rio Grande Valley mayors.
Yes, Rio Grande Valley mayors. That was intentional. That's in our name, South Texas. And many of our board members have roots from the Rio Grande Valley. That's where they were born and raised. And so we understand that working together is going to make us stronger. And not only that, we want to make sure that people in the entire region know just what great things are happening in South Texas and in the Rio Grande Valley, in Laredo, and everywhere in between. I don't think people understand the message or how much is happening in South Texas when it comes to innovation, emerging technologies. And there's so much that we want to promote and share with the rest of the state of Texas, but also with the region and the rest of San Antonio, to let them know just exactly what is happening in the RGV. That's why we wanted to be intentional, and that's why we also really live by our mission and our vision of our name, South Texas Business Partnership.
You had a lot of variety in the topics you chose today as well. Was there anything that you heard that was a surprise to you? Anything that sort of jumped out the pages for you? Any facts you learned about, different topics, different industries, different parts of the region? Anything that surprised you?
I don't think anything really surprised me because we were being intentional with developing these panels. But what I think we could look for in the future is more discussion when it comes to cybersecurity and cyber command, and just the impact that has on not just governments, but also when it comes to our businesses, all of my partners, all of our members. That is significant, and just the growth of AI and how we need to work on that. So maybe that's something in the future. And also, we're going to be happy to help host and organize, a state of South Texas where we get all of the mayors from the South Texas Alliance of Cities together again, so they can just give every other year reports of what's happening with the South Texas Alliance of Cities.
Mayor Nuremberg gets a lot of the credit for forming that South Texas Alliance of Mayors, but of course he's leaving very soon now. Have you had a chance to speak to the incoming mayor, Mayor Ortiz-Jones, as to whether she will continue to include that and make sure that coalition carries on?
The great thing about this campaign cycle with our mayor-elect, she did come and speak to our community, our business partnership twice during the campaign trail. And we expressed to her very sincerely that the South Texas Alliance and regional collaboration is very, very important. And I think her showing up today as only her second event in the community in her new position, it just proves and demonstrates that she's committed to South Texas and this regional collaboration. So, and I know Mayor Nuremberg was also talking to her about it as well.
Well, those are all the questions I had, Rebecca. Is there anything I've missed? Anything else you'd like to add?
The only thing I would like to add is we are, even though we're headquartered here in San Antonio, we make plenty of trips to the Rio Grande Valley and throughout South Texas. And as I mentioned, we have many of our board of directors who are from the valley, and they have those ties and those relationships. And we want to make sure that the Rio Grande Valley and all the businesses up and down the 27 county region know that we're here to serve as a collaborator and a convener and a partner.
Well, thank you so much for today's interview. We've learned a lot.
Thank you very much so much for being here. Appreciate it.